Hello, everybody, and welcome to Valley Homes on TV. I'm Debbie Giordano, along with Todd Flesner, my co-host.
Hi, Deb.
Hey, how you doing?
Terrific.
Good.
Terrific.
Good. Folks that you've tuned in, you know we're on Channel 26, and you can catch us on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at 6:30 p.m. and Saturday and Sunday at 9 a.m. and some other times in between. So we've had some exciting guests lately.
We certainly have. We always have really interesting folks that we hopefully bring to the people here in Milpitas, help them out with knowing our community a little bit better, some of the businesses in town in the area, as well as community information.
Well, you brought a special guest,
I
Lady in
did.
Red, I tell you. Beautiful.
Yeah, I'd like to be able to introduce Jana Sonuk, and Jana's business is Auxilio, and she actually works in the HomeAide area. So we'll talk with her a little bit and find out what all that means. So Jana, welcome.
Hello. Thank you for inviting me.
Yes.
Yes, I do have Auxilio in HomeAide. We do in-home care for anyone 18 years or older, especially boomer generation.
Okay.
But also we complement the in-home care with the personal concierge services.
All right.
Terrific. Well, we're all getting older, and some of us need help, so it's good to have you here.
Okay, well, let me begin. Let me start off. We ask all our guests, and we introduce them. Tell us a little bit about yourself and maybe where you grew up. You said English is not your first language, so where you grew up and where you were educated and what brought you here.
I grew up in Istanbul, Turkey. I moved here about 20 years ago. I lived multiple continents, different countries, different cities, and finally settled in California. I'm very excited because California is very much like how I grew up, very diverse city, Istanbul. I learned English later in my life. When I came here, my English wasn't that good, and it is getting better. I graduated from Health Management and Policy from Oregon State University, and that was one of my goals, to serve the people, because all throughout my career I was always in serving people.
Oh, good.
So here I am in California.
All right.
Well, good. Well, we're glad to have you. Now, I understand we talked a little bit earlier that you have a little bit of media background as well as your profession.
Where it's coming from? Yes, my bachelor degree is journalism and public relations. I got the degree when I was overseas, and then became a journalist. And I I was sitting on that side asking questions, and I was covering the big area with anything related to communities, seniors, education, health and wellness, community activities, economy, politics. That is part of my job at the time.
Well, it sounds like it kind of winds into what you're doing now,
Yes.
kind of overall. So tell us, what are you doing in your current career, and what's led up to that? So.
After I came here, it has been about 15 years of my dream. I want to do what I am doing right now, serving the elderly and people who are in need when they need the help the most. Can be anyone who is in period that they cannot take care of themselves.
Okay.
Could be in their home, the place they live, hospital, facility. We send the caregivers to place of their choice and take care of them. And with the concierge, because there is so many other things going on in your personal life while you are incapable of doing certain things, then with the concierge services we complement. If they need to downsize, we move them to their new location. If they are looking for some place that instead of living in their home, if they are planning to move to skilled nursing facility or other rehab centers, then we have great resources to find the place of their choice and assist them with that transition as well.
Okay.
Good. Well, let's back up a little bit and think about just kind of the demographics and what's going on societally. What would you say about trends that we're seeing about people who are aging? Is that a population of people that's growing, and how is longevity impacting that as well?
Well, the baby boomers is certainly increasing number. Anyone who was born between 46 and 64 is baby boomer generation. With the advanced technology, advanced medicine, and safety, the longevity of people living longer is much higher. Right now, it's about 78 years of age. By 2045, the number of people who are over 60 will be much higher than the children's population, which is a good thing actually, because it's a good upside, because the children is going to grow up with their parents, but they will have a quality time with their grandparents, even great-grandparents.
And let's talk about that quality. That was what leads me right into my next question. So what do you think is what's essential for a person to live a long, healthy life? What are some of the ingredients?
We always talk about physical activity and mental activity, but brain activity is also very much important, as much as the other two. Keeping them active in all ways is going to help them to have a longer, healthy life. There is Alzheimer's and dementia we've been talking about for many years lately, because more elderly is dying from Alzheimer's and dementia related, because the longevity is increasing. People have access to medicine, but the Alzheimer's and dementia, there is no cure for it and there is no medicine yet. So those are the things that are important for us to get more funds.
Good. Do you have any tips or things for folks to think about that they might employ in that area that might help them as they're aging in terms of staying sharp and mental acuity and staying fit? Are there some tips you might have?
Well, we don't have to climb, we don't have to bicycle, we don't have to run, but there are other things as elderly can do. Gardening, having new hobbies, having small parties with their friends, socially involved with the communities that they live. Those are the things that is going to help them to being active, not isolated, and also being isolated is causing stress and anxiety in elderly as well.
So what does your company, Auxilio, how do you incorporate into those program areas?
With the Auxilio HomeAide, after we connect with the clients, we go to their home and assess their needs. And some clients are inbound, and some clients can go out and actively do things in their community. And based on their needs, everything is truly tailored to their needs. Their nutrition, their daily activities, physical activities, brain activities, and their interaction with their family and friends.
Okay.
We all help them throughout that process.
Okay, good.
Are there other issues that people who are aging need to consider as well? We talked about staying active, trying to stay mentally and physically sharp. What about the home environment, or perhaps their financial security?
With the home environments, as long as the elderly wants to stay home and live in their own home, the technology and with the help of the in-home care providers, it is doable. Because with the assisting them to transition from their current house environment to more friendly for elderly is a great way for them to stay in their home, safe, independent, and comfortable.
All right. We use the word downsizing a lot. How do you counsel people on what might fit their needs and make some recommendations?
Definitely. There are clients want to stay home. We have clients they want to move to nursing home. We have clients they want to downsize based on their needs. 90% of elderly, however, they want to stay in their own community, in their own home, independently, safely, and comfortably. And if it is the case downsizing, and we connect them with the right professionals to assist them during that process, and also during the moving process, before moving, during the moving, and after the moving, to make it easier so they don't stress out during the transition.
Okay.
Well, we probably have seen, all seen those commercials, I've fallen and I can't get up and, and press the button here, and help comes. But, let's say, I've got a parent that's aging or parents that are aging, and I'm concerned about them. How can I reach out and get help and evaluate, what their situation is and what might be helpful for them in assessing what those next steps might be?
What is knowing now, it is going to help us what is ahead of us. So we connect with their doctors, with their loved ones, and also we interview with them and what makes them more safe during the process. And those are the things that is helping us to make everything more comfortable for them.
All right.
Okay.
Well, I've got a good question. We love to ask all our guests. What do you really like about your current career? What do you like about what you do?
It is a gift that being in the life of elderly.
Okay.
I feel lucky and honored part of their life. Laughing together, cooking, and interacting with their friends, and seeing them busy, having a new hobby. It is really rewarding.
Oh, good. What do you see as the biggest challenges for you as you work with the elderly population as well?
Well, there is great challenges. There's also great opportunities. The elderly has a very diverse background. We have to serve them in terms of their background, their culture, and their health condition.
Okay. Well, it sounds to me, you described the baby boomer generation and how the aging population is growing, not shrinking. So you must have some current goals and objectives. You want to share those? What
do.
you see in the future?
Beginning of the conversation, we talk about me being a journalist. With the next issue, it is a local magazine, media, I should say. Active over 50, I will be writing about the seniors.
Nice.
I am very excited, going back to my roots, that now I have a passion that combine together and they give them the information about what is affecting their life, being active and in the wellness area as well. I'm very involved in the community. I'm part of the Rotary Silicon Valley Chamber of Commerce with San Jose. Health and Wellness Committee, public policy. I enjoy receiving more information from all those resources and gathering and giving back to the seniors that the information they need to make informed decision related to their daily life, their health, and their maybe even their family, that friends that needs that information.
It sounds like society in general is now focusing on this. On the aging population and how we can make them healthier as opposed to just going into long-term care or health, a drain on the health program. So you're a big asset and a help in that area.
Thank you.
To circumvent the decline of that population.
I do see my clients have a passion to stay home, staying healthier, and being active in their community. But we also have a passion with Auxilio HomeAide to be them part of their life throughout the process, make sure they are independent, safe, and comfortable.
Great.
Good. Shauna, we appreciate you being with us. If folks have got questions, anything that we've talked about today, they want to know more about it, how might they be able to contact you?
Well, they can go to our website. It is auxilio-homeaide.com. Auxilio spells AUXILIO-homeaide.com. They can also call at 408-489-9674.
Great.
Terrific. Well, we really thank you for coming in and sharing your expertise with us.
Yeah.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah. Good luck to you.
Thank
you very much.
Right.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All of us want to make a difference. As veterans, we committed to protect our country. We served and sacrificed for the things that mattered most. those experiences shaped our lives, even if it isn't always obvious to those around us. And now that we've served, our commitments have taken on a new meaning. We're husbands, wives, parents, friends, and neighbors, but sometimes we still feel alone. We forget that our biggest challenge can be to ask for support when we need it. The Veterans Crisis Line is here for all veterans, service members, and their loved ones. Dial 1-800-273-8255 and press 1. Chat online at veteranscrisisline.net or text 838-255. It matters.
The following is a public service announcement test to determine if you need a fishing license and boat registration before you head out on the water. Let us begin. Are you a pelican? Does this look like your house? Is this your idea of fishing with friends? Do you use your feet as fishing hooks? Are you your own boat? Do you have webbed feet? No, I mean like a... That's the one. Do you want this in your favorite lake? Yuck, yike. No thanks, mister. Regardless how you answered, you need to be licensed and registered because it helps local conservation efforts protect the very natural resources you enjoy boating and fishing in for generations to come. Do your part at takemefishing.org.
Hello, welcome everyone. You're watching Valley Homes on TV. I'm Debbie Giordano along with Todd Flesner, our local loan expert. We're going to talk about what's been happening in the housing and lending market for the month of August.
It's been an interesting summer, hasn't it?
Yeah, interesting summer. Interesting week, the last week. We're coming on the heels of the stock market that just plummeted over 1,000, couple thousand points, and then on its way back up today for recovery.
Well, it's been a roller coaster ride. That's for certain. A lot of uncertainty. How this all shakes out in the long term, we'll see. But it has been an interesting week in the financial markets for certain.
Well, I can honestly say that last weekend I had 4 open houses, and the traffic flow was down 50, 60, 70%. So people are really shook up out there of what's going on with the economics, global markets, and how it's going to hit here locally. But I don't know how you feel, but I still feel that our economy is so strong.
Well, I think here locally, yes.
Locally, job market.
Yeah, absolutely. We live in a great place, right? The job market is strong here. We've had a very strong real estate market as well over the last several years, really leading the country out of the slowdown that we've had.
Correct.
And
so with that said, let's talk about just quickly some home sales. Just a couple weeks ago, home sales hit a 10-year high. 10-year high in the area. So that is absolutely true with what is going on here. And then, so you want to talk about statistics?
Yeah, let's talk about where the housing market here.
I think it's kind of interesting. So in July of 2014, we had an average price of $870,000, and now July 2015, it's only $892,000. So that fluctuated. If you remember, I reported last month, we were well into the 900s.
Right.
And it's actually dropped down, and those numbers will fluctuate and change. So over a year span, there's not that great of a change. The median price was at $792 a year ago, and it's now at $827. We'll see. It'd be interesting we'll track these numbers in the next few months and see if that is where it's going to hover, or if it'll get back up into the 900s where I think it should be.
Well, do you think that may have something to do with the homes that have actually sold during that time period? If there were more of the high-end, higher price homes that sold, they would take an average price up.
Correct. So
Okay.
it's very hard to track. But I think if we look at year-over advances, that's safe. Now, the condo market, and that's held pretty consistent for a change. $532,000 last year for an average price, and that's bumped to $620,000 this year in July of 2015. Median price was 531,000, and that's now up to 637,000. So I think, again, the single-family home, it may have that, anything over $1 million or $1 million plus may have fluctuated those numbers. So I think we'll be back up into the nines, which is about where an average home is, somewhere around 9.25, 950, really, in Milpitas. So.
Oh, good. So the market continues to be strong. It sounds like it is evening out, though, here a little bit. We're not seeing the huge upswings that we've seen over the last maybe year to two.
And I want to point out an interesting article I also pulled out of the San Jose Mercury, and it's called, "Are You Over-Evaluating Your Adobe?" Meaning your home. Many new data suggests many homeowners overestimate their property's worth. And I'll tell you, the last 30 days, on the multiple listing, we've seen longer days on market. So what's happened is a lot of sellers were caught in this wind, this uptick of this year, and actually overvaluing their property. It's very important when you go out on the market to price it at market. Multiple offers may drive it over, but
Right.
that overpricing is really going to hurt days on market, and I think we're going to see an adjustment in that.
Okay, interesting.
Yeah.
Interesting. Well, and just anecdotally, like you said, the slowdown in perhaps foot traffic. I mean, we're back into the school season, which,
Stock market
fluctuations. And so we might have a little bit of a seasonal slowdown. And so for folks who may have felt like, there was an avalanche of people getting into the real estate market, or there was a lot of competition for homes, this might be a good time now to take a look.
Okay, well, you work with buyers.
Yes.
I'm work with sellers. So where do you see the buyers? Where are they at right now with interest rates, and are they jumping off the fence due to maybe the Fed's raising interest rates later this year?
Well, yeah, the stock market this last week has really raised the question again when the Fed might increase interest rates, because we're really in a global sort of economy as far as that goes. So will it be in September, October timeframe? Will it be later this year? I still think that our long-term rates, mortgage rates, are going to remain relatively stable. We might see a small uptick, but they're not going to be going through the roof, which means that the price of a home and a mortgage remains relatively affordable for folks. We're not going to see that really spike here.
So what are rates right now?
We're right around 4%, give or
Nice.
take. Depends upon the loan program, of course. We have some jumbo loans that are actually in the high threes, some great rates for
Nice.
30-year fixed-rate loans. So still very, very attractive interest rates for home buyers.
Okay, all right, good.
So, and again, I see that really kind of holding steady here as we go into the fall season.
Have your buyers been affected due to the stock market challenges? Are they pulling money out of stocks for down payment, and is that going to impact anything in the housing market?
Well, I'm working with all sorts of different sort of buyers, right? And I think that, yes, the impact on their stock portfolio gives people reason to pause, right? And take a look, okay, how secure do I feel with this? Now, fortunately for a lot of folks, particularly first-time home buyers, there's been an emergence of many more low down payment programs.
Okay.
So folks may not have to dip as deep into their savings or into their stock portfolios as they might otherwise have to be able to get into a home. And so that's the sort of thing that we can help evaluate. Take a look at what is that trade-off of low interest rate or low down payment and interest rate and payments, and see how that might work for
All
someone.
right, good. So you counsel the buyers, see where they fit in?
Absolutely. What's the best way to use your money? Is it to leverage it with a loan? Is it to leave some of it in the stock market? Is to go ahead and liquidate based on all sorts of different factors.
Nice,
So,
great.
and for folks who are home sellers, you talk about pricing right.
Right.
Pricing,
staging,
right.
making sure the product looks good is key.
Mhm.
And then going through the marketing phase of being able to expose the home before they look at offers. But I just think right now that we're in a pause, and we'll see how this plays out in the next 30 days when we report into the next update for the economics locally. So
Very good. Well,
folks tune in on that. So where can the viewers get hold of you if they ask
via
some
phone,
questions?
408-921-0669, or my website is just my name, toddflesner.com.
Great. I can be reached at giordanodj@aol.com. If you have any questions about the show or anything, if you have a guest, and we'd welcome to have any future guests. If you out there want to appear on the show, that would be great. Let us know. So, Todd, thank you. We'll see you again in a couple weeks, and then for our next market wrap-up as we continue to monitor this economic up and down that we're going through.
Well, we'll see how things shake out.
Shake out, yeah.
And so, thanks again, folks, for joining us, and we'll see you next time.
Great.